Hey, good friends. It's awesome to be with you today. Let me find my words. Buh. Let me start over. It's awesome to be with you. It's May 9th. May 9th. When we're studying these Psalms, I have to tell you, it's really difficult to try to find, to narrow down, not try to find the materials there. Oh my goodness. To narrow down where we want to take our lesson from. And as I read the commentaries and I study, as I read the commentaries and I studied for today's lesson, I don't know if I've ever read, I don't know, I know that I've written something on 29 before, but today it just hit me different because I needed to hear this part of David's testimony for sure. Because this is a psalm that the commentaries agree on. It's all praise, and it's only talking about the Lord and His greatness and His power. He's not asking for anything. He's not complaining about anything. He's not telling God on somebody, like I like to tattletale on people. He's not doing any of that. He is exalting God. And he's likened the voice of God with a storm. The strength of the storm, in fact, one of the commentaries says this describes the strength of a storm and understands it as the voice and power of God. He uses voice of the Lord 7 times. And I was convicted immediately because I don't know about you all, but I don't necessarily listen for the voice of God as the storm. I'm in the middle of a storm and I call out to Him, but I never thought about Him being the voice in the storm or being the storm itself. He has voice in my storms, yes, but this even suggests that He causes the storm. He's the one that can cause the storm, and He's the one that can calm the storm. That's just like, I don't even know how to wrap my brain around all of that right now, honestly. Probably could have used about 2 or 3 more days to really study this, but we don't have 2 or 3 days to study one psalm, unfortunately. So I'm just going to kind of have to let this float around with me for a little bit. The idea that he brings the storm, and he is the storm, and the voice in the storm. I mean, I know, just thinking back of the times that we've already read, that there's thunder, and they refer to it as the voice of the Lord, or lightning or storm. They talk about it being the voice of the Lord. It's referenced to being the voice of the Lord. So I know this is something that David has experienced. But it's really kind of like messed with me a little bit. And it makes me think, it's going to make me think of a storm differently. A trial in my life differently. Right? Do I consider the storm as the voice and power of God? I don't know. I haven't thought about it really like that. That's a question I have to think about. Another question that came up is, can I praise Him in the storm? When He's brought it, if He's the voice of it, if He's the cause of it, can I praise Him in it? Wow. And this is where, these are my thoughts. These are my thoughts. And y'all know that I don't dare consider myself the expert on anything when it comes to the Bible. I'm just a girl who gets up and reads it every day. That's it. And I'm sitting on this side of the camera. That's all. We're all in this together. I'm just facilitating this conversation. So I don't have it all together. I don't have it all. I don't have all the answers. And if we did, we'd never read the book more than once. Let's just be for real. But here's the thing that came to me. Our relationship with God in the calm, C-A-L-M, will be reflected in our storms. The storms of the world will deafen the voice of God and determine to overpower him if we don't prepare for the storm. Let me read that again. The storms of the world will deafen the voice of God. Thinking the voice of God that's the storm. He's bringing it to us. And will determine to overpower him. In other words, make us give way to the negative thinking. Make us give way to solving this problem or to bring resolution with our own understanding and our own means. These are some things, the thoughts that have come to my mind during this, as I was preparing this lesson. We can praise him in the storm if we have praised him in the calm. If we have spent time with him, praising him in the calm of things, when he is the storm, we can praise him then. We can recognize his voice in the storm if we have spent time with him in the calm. If I've not ever spent time with him, I'm not going to know that storm is him. I'm not going to know that he caused it. I'm not going to know that he can calm it. Because I don't know his voice. Which we're learning that through read through the Word every single day. We can sense his presence in the storm if we have known it in the calm. There'll be a security and a peace that rushes over us in the storm because we've experienced and known his presence in the calm. We can trust his provision. These are things that I've just pulled out. We can trust his provision if we have trusted in the storm, if we have trusted it in the calm. In verse 8, the voice of the Lord makes the barren wilderness quake. He shakes up the wilderness. I like that. We will witness his power in the storm if we've stood with his power in the calm. If we've stood and let him defend us, we know that he's a mighty God and that I can just stand here and just let him fight for me, as Gideon said. I think it was Gideon. Don't quote me on that. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me that. Somebody tell me it's not Gideon and who it is. But I think it was Gideon. So yeah. I included a worship song today it's old and I don't even know the date of it, like when it came out. A long time ago. I like old music. Hymns and everything, but this is a song by Praise Him in the Storm. I want to say Casting Crowns. You know what? I'm going to put my phone right now while I'm talking to you. How about that? Praise Him in the Storm. Casting Crowns. I was right. And I listened to it before I put the link on there today. Before I put the notes up today, I listened to it. Wow, it's a great song. I hope you can worship Him today. And that this has rocked your thinking a little bit. It's rocked my thinking a little bit about the storm. And he is the storm. He is the thunder. He is the trial. He has brought it. He's allowed it. But I want to hear his voice. I want to sense his presence. I want to experience his provision. And I want to praise him. Yeah, that's all that David did right here, was just praise him. Just praise him. Yes, let's just praise him. Whether you're going through a storm or not, listen to the song. And let's praise him today. See you next time on Read Through the Word.